There is no point in bullshitting. You're there to fulfill the expectations of millions of people if you get the part. Therefore, you need to be straightforward and honest with yourself about what you can do.
Welcome everybody to episode 45 of Watch Ross, the one where we kidnap a Coronation Street director and ask him how we can get a job on the cobbles. Sorry for locking you out there, Petch, but he's in now. The heating is on. It's beautiful. I've made him take his shoes off because he's still on brand new carpet because we are in my brand new apartment. Those who are regular viewers of the vlog will have seen me buy this back in June. It's like a big moment in my life, so thanks for watching if you came along for the ride. It's been refurbed, not been able to show you for a while, but it's almost finished. This is going to be the new office, ActOnThis.tv head office. It's pretty bland at the moment, but I'm going to make sure it looks swish. Just got a few things to buy for the place. But the mics are set up. And the mics are set up for a reason, because we are going to record a podcast tonight live on the vlog. Well, it's not live on the vlog, it's not live. I'm going to record a podcast on the vlog with a great director who I actually interviewed almost 8 years ago. He was one of the very first guests I had on Act On This, a guy called Nic Phillips. Me and Nic actually recorded a webinar 8 years ago for Act On This it was so old, we had to dial into it via the telephone, like literally like your home phone, not even your mobile. We had to dial in, chat over the home phone, and then it was all recorded as a webinar. We were breaking boundaries back then, but technology has definitely moved on. Me and Petch are going to go to Media City now to Coronation Street to find Nic, kidnap him, bring him back here. We're going to sit down and interrogate the guy. He's a lovely guy. He's been directing like longer than I've been alive. But we're going to be asking him all the questions, ultimately, that I think you want the answers to, about how you as actors can get a job on Coronation Street or other serial dramas. We've got to go and get Petch's car because it's been in the garage. If all goes to plan, the next shot should be me probably holding the camera and Petch driving. Let's find out. All did go to plan, and that was Petch's amazing driving skills. He's just demonstrated some incredible parking skills that I can only dream of. I'm not allowed to drive, obviously. I've got this dodgy eye condition, for those who don't know. I'm literally not allowed to drive, got no peripheral vision. I should probably have a go at the car one day, though. No. I reckon when you're ready to write this off, I'm going to have a go. Listen, we're in the car park at ITV at Coronation Street. I can't take the camera in there into reception. That's not going to be allowed. We'd definitely be arrested or something for that. We'd be kicked off site and I would never work on this show, ever. But for 2 minutes, I just want to go over something whilst we're waiting for Nic that's really important to me and would mean the world to me if you got involved in. For those who follow me regularly and you've been, a member of ActOnThis.tv quite a while, you will be aware of a programme I run for actors once at the most twice a year. It's called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. And still to this day, 3 years after launching it, it's the world's only science-backed, high-performance, positive psychology program for actors on the planet. Now, what does that mean? Because it's quite a grand title. Ultimately, it's a program, a 5-week, super in-depth program for actors that I take actors through. You can either do it on your own or you can do it as a VIP version with me, live online coaching for 5 weeks. Hugely in-depth. You've got to commit to it. And it helps actors really get on top of their mental game, their mental health, their psychology, their mindset. It gets them out of their own way. It stops them from ultimately self-sabotaging themselves, from holding themselves back from the success that they really do deserve. Petch is an alumni. He's been through it. Honestly, changed your life?
Game changer. Totally changed my life.
I'm not even paying him to say that, I swear to God. A student went through the programme 2 years ago. She won an Oscar this year. Hundreds of actors have been through this programme. I've just opened the doors for registration for 2018 right now. Whilst you're watching this, if you're watching this vlog the day it goes out, it's available to register for until the 15th of November 2018. After that, the doors close for 12 months. You won't get in again until this time next year. It's a huge part of my life. It takes over my life at the time when the course is going, so I can't offer it more than once a year, twice at the maximum if I find time. But chances are you won't get in again until well into 2019. If you are not where you want to be right now, if you're getting in your own way, if you struggle with confidence, if you're going into the audition room and you're like, right, you know, I've got a great opportunity here, and you go in and you completely fuck up, self-sabotage, and come out kicking yourself, this program is for you. It's based on 10 years study of positive psychology. I've been obsessed with it for over a decade. It's the stuff that changed my life around, from working for minimum wage in a toy shop back in 2006, basically finding out I was going blind, my dad dying all in the same year, had a load of shit happen. I was fucking crushed, Petch. I'd left drama schools having no success. I needed something to give me the edge. Positive psychology and the science of success was it. It's not bullshit. It's not the secret. It really is the science of success. If you want to get involved, please go to bulletproofactor.com right now before the 15th of November. Otherwise, you ain't going to get in. Pet, you got anything to say?
Do it. Like, if you're not investing in yourself, what are you investing in?
If you're not investing in yourself, what are you invested in? If it's me, I'm investing in far too much coffee at the moment. I'm going to show you the coffee machine when we get back to the apartment. Maybe if I can get any. We've got milk. We'd maybe get a coffee from Costa though, I don't know. Get involved with Bulletproof Actor though, honestly. And yeah, invest in yourself. Let's go and find Nic, Petch.
Let's do it.
We've got him, the man himself. He's here. Nic, are you excited about this or what?
I'm certainly pleased to be here.
He's pleased to be here. Literally 8 years since we last interviewed this guy. I can't wait to sit down and chat. You have to fill us in. What's happened over the last 8 years?
I'll tell you when we sit down.
You want to find out? Follow us.
Hey Nic, how have you been after all this time?
So we've made it back to the apartment. It wouldn't be an episode of the vlog if we didn't go to Lily's. Had a quick takeout from Lily's, got a coffee. I'm ready, Nic. I don't know why I'm talking to this mic because I'm actually mic'd up on this one for this. Are you ready for this?
I think I'm ready. Yes.
Nic is ready. I am ready. Petch has got a Yorkshire tea. He is ready. And if you want to watch, you're going to see some snippets of this now. If you want to actually listen to the full podcast, get yourself over to actonthis.tv. Details will be up on the screen during this, but I'm going to give you now 2 or 3 super interesting parts of this, Nic. And then if they want to listen to the rest, they've got to go and get a membership to Acts on This. But it will be the best thing you ever do for your acting career. So do it. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
You develop a thick skin.
Yep.
If you're going to be an actor, you need to be resilient to being kicked, knocked back, rejected. Rejection goes with the territory. You can't be lucky all the time. There is a tiny handful of people who have made a great success from a very early age. Apart from that, most of the quality actors out there have really, really taken hard knocks.
Yep.
They've been on the breadline, they've done lots of different jobs, but everything you do is an investment in your acting life. It gives you your frame of reference, your life experiences, and if you apply diligently the things that you teach on your website here, on Act On This and your seminars and webinars, you will get somewhere. You have to be pretty unlucky not to make some step forward. But it happens. But you make your own destiny. You really do. And it's a tough choice to be an actor, and to be a director.
Yeah.
There are no easy choices, really. You have to just decide what you want and then go for it. Just some people don't understand. Maybe there's a lack of sensitivity to the way other people work. You have to work in a team. You've got to be good at working in a team. You've got to listen. You've got to be sensitive. You've got to have an open mind. And you need to have a bit of academic ability. You've got to be able to count.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to count your money when you earn it. You've got to be able to read and understand what you're reading. You don't have to understand Shakespeare. You don't have to be able to deconstruct stuff. Directors, producers, classes, all those things will help you through that. What you need is a positive can-do attitude. That's what we said when we did Screen Acting Close Up. Top of the line, what do I need to be an actor? An A to Z to find your way to the auditions,
yes,
and a can-do attitude.
Yeah, so Nic did, so a few years ago, so I met Nic. Nic did a DVD called Screen Acting Close Up that we then digitized and actually created an online program of that DVD. It's no longer available now. Is the DVD still available?
It probably could be if I speak to Tim about it. But,
have a little Google for Screen Acting Close Up. Seriously, if you can get hold of a copy, it's brilliant.
There is no point in bullshitting. You're there to fulfill the expectations of millions of people if you get the part. Therefore, you need to be straightforward and honest with yourself about what you can do. I'm not saying people don't bullshit, but don't bullshit in a casting. What you've got to do is give your best possible performance. A casting is a performance, and that's what's expected of you, not a reading. Never go to a casting thinking it's a reading. That's not what we do. And so if the part is, if you're good at it and they choose you, it is possible that other people will see the tape, and there's always a camera looking at you in a television casting. That tape will go higher. And if you haven't done a good job on that tape, somebody might say, do you know what? I don't think they're very good at that. It's not what I saw. And that might just be unlucky. But if you do a good performance at your reading, then you cannot blame yourself for not getting the part. It's not your fault.
Yep.
If you don't do the work, if you don't get there early, you don't read and read intelligently when you can, then and you don't learn as much as you can, then you've only yourself to blame.
Yep.
Can I just say, I was saying they're the C-list.
They're the C-list. So I was going to say what a B and A. Yeah.
The B-list, they can read really well, but they do use the book a lot. They look down at the script a lot. And that's fair enough. If they've only just got it and they're busy actors, they may need to do that. But there's a quality about the reading which is probably born of experience, where they're holding the script under their sort of in front of them, up in the air, under their chin, so their eyes can drop down to the script, but they can keep looking up at the reader. Then there's the A-list, and I have cast a few A-listers in EastEnders.
Yeah.
And I saw 3 people for a detective role who was over a number of, I think it was Who Murdered Hev.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What a great story,
I was doing that, directing that block of episodes. And we had a detective come in, and I regret I can't remember the actor's name. But I saw 3 actors. Every single one of them had got the script in advance because it was a big part. They learnt it. They came in. They all had the script in their hands, and they played it. They played it to the casting director, and they were all brilliant. And we chose the one that we thought was the most, individuals bring something of themselves to it. And it just happened to be, we all agreed that it was this one person.
There's a lot of people listening to this, I know there is, Nic, who haven't had a TV credit yet. They are desperate for their first TV credit. And they're like, I think they're not being as honest with casting directors and stuff when they meet them, though, because I'm like, if you actually reached out to a casting director and said, I want one line, have you got a paramedic coming up that I could maybe do one line? Have you got a doctor? Have you got a nurse? Have you got a copper who just comes in and says 2 lines and he's out?
Yeah.
They just want their first credit. Let's just go through the casting process of that. If you were an actor, starting out right now, and you're like, I need this first credit, what would you do to get this one, to be that paramedic, to be that copper, be the nurse or whatever it is, just to get something on your CV? When an actor finally bags a role, then let's say the B player or the A player's got a role with you, they're coming in to work with you for a day, 2 days, whatever, maybe they've got a slightly bigger guest role there for a week or so. What can they do on and offset so that you want to work with them again, you want to bring them in again, you remember for other stuff? What are the things they can do on set, offset as well, that's going to make your job easier, so you're like, wow, what a pleasure to work with, I'm definitely having you back? So there you go, folks. You just saw a few clips of what was, Nick, one of the longest but most enjoyable podcasts I have ever recorded. So appreciate that. We're on the brand new Neck sofas here as well. What do you think of these, Nick?
Very smart. You have lovely sofas. You want me to take this, Ross?
Well, I'll just tell him. Not quite yet. He's very keen, isn't he? What we're going to do, we're going to give you, because it's all about value, we're going to give the actors watching some exclusive value that's not on the podcast. But if you want to listen to the rest of that podcast, please go to actsonthis.tv, get yourself a membership. It's a massive force for good. There's literally hundreds of hours worth of interviews with people like Nick, BAFTA winners, Oscar winners, the biggest casting directors, writers, producers in the industry. If you're new to actsonthis.tv, just go and check it out. It's been 8 years of my life, Nick. Like we said on the podcast, you've been here since the beginning. So go and get the membership. But we're going to give you some exclusive content now. And you want to talk about auditions, Nick, don't you? A little bit more. So let's talk about that. Expand. You can have the mic.
I've got the microphone now, this very strange microphone. Right. Okay. Well, I want to talk about auditions because for me, being an actor or being a director of actors, the thing that I think actors have to concentrate on is being brilliant at auditioning. Because without auditioning, you have no career. So in order to have the career, you've got to practice, you've got to learn, you've got to train to audition well, and you've got to keep repeating that, because as long as you are acting, until you become a star who can choose the work they do, you will be auditioning for the work you do. This is really strange, having this microphone resting on my chin. It is one of the most weird experiences. Anyway, so I think ultimately you will end up being a brilliant actor by learning to audition excellently. The thing about auditioning is every audition you go to, am I playing this to the camera or to you? Okay. Well, I think, Ross, I'll talk to you, is every audition you go to is an opportunity to show the casting director, the writer, whoever is attending, who you as the character are. And in order to achieve it, you have to work at learning the script, even in the short time you may have with it, maybe 15 minutes, maybe an hour if you get there early enough. Yep. And then you have to go into the room, you keep the script in your hand, you are honest, truthful about who you are, and you listen and play the part from the words you have hopefully learned to the casting director, who is not an actor, who may not give you the kind of cues you'd like to get from a professional actor. And only then, if you don't get the part, can you not blame yourself for not trying hard enough. Yeah. But if you do get the part, it is because you've given your absolutely best effort. And I think that is an absolutely essential ingredient to being an actor. And you'll be doing that again and again and again. And you have to build a thick skin for the rejection that you will undoubtedly get. And only then do you start to become the kind of person who is going to be good as an actor. Because it's a tough game. I don't think there's any easy path to the work. It's physically hard. It's mentally challenging. It's lonely at times, but it's incredibly rewarding. And if you have a calling for it, a real calling, I suggest that auditioning is a practice that you need to start right now. I suggest you need to start learning how to learn by learning stuff every day of your life. Pick up a book, learn a poem every day. And it doesn't matter what you practice learning, it's learning and repeating and performing. What's wrong with poems? What's wrong with songs? What's wrong with the passage from a book or a piece of a play that you can then, perform as as part of your show reel? That's what you need to do. Learn, learn, learn. That would be my number one tip. And the other number one tip is learn how to manage your money. Right. Because it's a tough life starting to be an actor. Yep. And there will be only a small percentage of actors at any one time that earn a really good wedge from it, because there are hundreds of thousands of actors, hundreds and thousands of actors. There are hundred thousands of actors who are out of work. And so you need to manage your money, you need to manage your life, you need to get experience of other things. So do other jobs, work. But if you are driven to be an actor, for God's sake, don't give up.
Nice.
I think that's it, Ross. I can't do any more. I'm exhausted.
I like what you were saying before about actors looking at auditions as the work and the job actually as the, as the play, I guess, in terms of like...
It's the money.
It's the, the what you're getting paid for is the audition. Ultimately, we all love acting. The audition is the thing, you're really getting paid for. That's the thing that we don't like as much. And the theme of the podcast, I think, really, Petch said it as well before, is really, again, it's hard work, deploying hard work. I say in the podcast that hard work is the thing, the leveler for me. It's the thing that I can control out of everything. I can't control my height, my hair colour, my eye colour, the family I was born into, my background, how much money I was born with, all of these other things. I can control how much I put in on a daily basis. And that's the thing that can, put me leaps and bounds ahead of those people who were born with more. Have you got anything to say, Patch? I keep forgetting. Everything's fine for Patch. He just wants to get another cup of Yorkshire tea. We always finish the vlog, Nick, with a countdown.
I did have a question.
Oh, go on.
I can't remember. So you said that the audition, people need to develop a thick skin.
Do you want to just say it on the mic so people can hear it? Come round, Petch, to the next sofa. All right, come round to the back of the next sofa.
Hi, I'm Petch. You always said that the audition, and you have to do, as an actor, you have to develop a thick skin for the rejection that you get from auditions. And how would you develop a thick skin as an actor if they're not getting auditions?
Hit us with it, Nick.
I think if you're not getting auditions, if you want to be an actor, you're just going to develop a thick skin by continuing to try. If you're not getting auditions, then you're not trying hard enough. Do you know what? That's a really easy thing for me to say. I'm not an actor, so I can't be in the shoes of an actor. And so I would ask you as an actor who obviously does work, and you as an actor who does work, what do you think? How do you get jobs if you're not getting auditions? What do you do? Where's the thick skin coming from?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you, and I completely agree with you. And it's brutal, and I don't care, right? Because we're just telling it as it is. If I am not working, I don't point fingers at anyone. Not my agent, not directors like you, Nick, not casting directors, nobody. This is 100% like, pretty much, this is a key to success, right? You're getting extra value from this vlog. If I'm not working, it's my fault. No one else. I can't point fingers at anybody else but me. And by doing that, that puts me actually in full control. Because what I'm saying is actually, you know what? If I'm pointing fingers at everyone else, it makes me feel helpless. Because I'm like, well, actually, you know what? I need all of these things to come together before I can work. Actually, if I point my finger just at me, then it gives me back control of the situation where I'm like, right, what can I do? Who can I reach out to today? What can I deploy in my life to get further in my career? Who can I network with on Twitter? Who can I reach out to on LinkedIn? Who can I reconnect with who I worked with 10 years ago? So there's a director, Tim O'Mara, you might know. I worked with Tim literally 8 years ago on Emmerdale. Only this week, and I should have reached out way before this, but I thought I saw him tweet something. I thought, you know what? I've not got in touch with Tim for ages, and I know he's doing the Christmas specials at Emmerdale. I'm going to reach out to Tim on Twitter, reconnect. I'm going to message people, producers I've not spoke to in ages on LinkedIn. I'm going to send an updated scene from my showreel to casting directors. I'm going to reach out and ask people if I can help them with anything, add value, jab, 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 keep adding value, until I get to the point where they feel guilty, Nick. They're like, you know what, I owe Ross something. I don't do it because I want them to give me something. It's because I can almost guilt people into giving me something because I've given them so much. So you've got to do what other people are not doing. If you are doing what everyone else is doing, you will only ever have what everyone else is having. And 95% of actors that I know are not working. And it's because of them. It's their fault. I don't give a shit. It is their fault. I don't care what's happened in your life. I don't care if your mum didn't love you, if your dad's died, if this has happened. The answer brutally always is yeah, and what are you going to do about it? Because you know what? You can't control that. You can control how much effort you put in. You can control how much hard work you put in. You can control your can-do attitude, which is Nic's, like, what is his go-to phrase. So I think that's it. And it's empowering when you take accountability for yourself and where you're at in your life. Stop blaming other people. Crack on.
Cut.
Gonna cut there. Right. So the catchphrase is bye for now, Nic. I'm gonna give us a countdown, and we're gonna see you next week, episode 46, for another Grant's Rants. In 3, 2, 1. Bye for now.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Come in, Betch.